Yay. All right, I'm live. Here we go. I was having some technical difficulties there. I don't know what was going on. But hey, welcome to the 2022 Australian Grand Prix from Melbourne, Australia, Albert Park Circuit. It's been 3 years because of COVID since this race has happened. And now I've been watching all the pre stuff. Obviously, I have the volume down. I'm assuming for copyright reasons, I'm assuming I can't have the volume up, So I'm just going to be looking. It's right here. I got the race right here. I hope it doesn't fall. And I'll be watching it. I'm watching pre race stuff right now. I watched the drivers parade. That's what it's called, where they were in, like, I think they were in Shelby's or something. There were some really cool looking cars going around the track, waving to people, all the different race car drivers. So I'll just be watching it, and I wanted to do a little bit of a pre-show here, a few minutes, just going through some things. Albon from Williams was disqualified from qualifying. So I think he was P16 in qualifying, but now he'll be starting in the back of the grid because they weren't able to provide, I believe, a fuel sample. It was a fuel like irregularity or something along those lines. And in Q1, his car like shit the bed. So something to do with like the fuel. And so he was disqualified. So his time was disqualified. He's not disqualified from the race per se. He's in the race. It's just his P6. He won't be starting P16. I think that's the point in that disqualification. Also with Williams, there was a terrible crash in I believe Q1 with only 2 minutes left between Latifi and Lance Stroll. And this goes along with the Mickey Mouse behavior, the Mickey Mouse drivers. It was totally Stroll's fault. Total, like, just no awareness of what was going on around him, I don't think. And it was one of the most bizarre crashes I've ever seen. Just ran right into Latifi. It was like really weird, and I believe Stroll got a three place grid penalty for that. So we'll see once the race starts where he is in the lineup. But obviously Latifi's car got like destroyed. It like imploded. It was really crazy. Really crazy to watch. So Williams, I kind of wonder, is Doralton Capital happy with their investment? Maybe they're starting to regret their investment, to be completely honest. But hey, it is what it is. It's F1. Things take time. It's a lot of money. It's not the easiest thing in the world. And this is still going under TMPS Nightcap, the evening show. And so I have my nightcap here. Tonight is Bacardi and Diet Coke. You can see I am a Max Verstappen fan. I got my number one championship hat. He is the current Drivers' World Champion. It still has the tag on it. Came all the way from the Netherlands. I got my Red Bull shirt. This is still this is before Oracle. So this is last year's. Like, it has Honda on it. It doesn't have Oracle yet, but Aston Martin's not on it. This is last year's shirt. Hold on. Someone's messaging me on Das Facebook. Yeah. Das Facebooking. She said, woo. Oh, is that Ric Flair? What the heck? All right. What else is going on? Alonso crashed in Q3. Did Perez get a grid drop? So they were talking about Perez, I believe, not slowing down with yellow flags that had to do with George Russell, I'm pretty sure. And Leclerc got pole, followed by Verstappen, and then Perez. So I couldn't find anything online that said that Perez got that grid drop. So I don't know what's happening there, but as far as I know, Perez is starting P3. So hopefully that will stay the same. So, like I said, they haven't raced here for 3 years. And in that time, they've updated the track. It's been resurfaced, and they've made some changes, like the big one taking out, I believe, turns 9 and 10. And they've pretty much trying to make the track a lot faster. There were 4 DRS zones, but they've taken one out, so now we're down to 3. I was like, 4 DRS zones? I mean, in these past couple races, new cars, the DRS zones have been super powerful. We've seen Verstappen and Leclerc battle and switch places in the DRS zones. And you think, wow, there's 4 of them. So we're going to see a lot of overtaking, a lot of passing, etc. But I don't know why the change was made. Gotta be completely honest. I just heard them say that in the pre-show. So I didn't really, maybe I can look it up while we're watching the actual race. But I thought 4 is a lot, but hey, I mean, if it's going to make for a more, because, sports, and, and you'll hear the team principals talk about this, racing, any kind of sport, it's a sport, right? You got rules, regulations. But at the end of the day, it boils down to entertainment. I watch F1 because I'm entertained by it. Baseball games, football games, they're entertaining. It's entertainment. Without me watching, paying for F1 TV, and these people in Australia paying to be there wouldn't be F1. So really, maybe those 4 DRS zones, you have tons of opportunity to pass. But I guess they decided to pull one out. I don't know which one. We'll find out. It'll all be coming up. Man, look at these cars. They're like unbelievable. If you've never watched F1, I highly recommend checking it out. It's just so incredible. Like, they're just like rocket ships with wheels. It's like really kind of crazy. Another thing I love about F1 is they show like a bunch of celebrities, like famous people. And I have no idea who they are. Now, occasionally Gordon Ramsay will show up, or Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean. Someone like super famous. Eric Clapton was, I think, at Bahrain. I believe he was at a race. But then they show for Americans, they show soccer players who I mean, I could be sitting next to the most famous soccer player in the world, and I would have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? They are in Australia, so I'm assuming that, there might be some more super famous people, but only in Australia that they show. And they always show them down there walking around the grid, and they show the famous people walking around talking to team principals and drivers and stuff. I'm not a fan of these new Ferrari shirts with a big black bar across. I guess they're okay. It's kind of weird to me that they added this big black bar. I don't know. But anyway, what else is going on? McLaren, Lando Norris in P4, qualifying P4. We'll see where he starts. If Perez gets a grid drop, maybe he'll even be higher. And that, to me, McLaren with the Mercedes power unit, which has not been a phenomenal power unit so far this season. I'm really happy to see McLaren and Lando up in P4. They're finding some performance in that vehicle. My phone here, I'd rather have my phone handy to look stuff up. Maybe I should bring my iPad in. Maybe that'd be a better move. Yeah, I don't know. So McLaren, I didn't write down where the Aussie himself, Daniel Ricciardo. I didn't write down where he in his McLaren. This is his hometown race. I was watching the driver parade, and they interviewed him, And man, he always has a huge smile on his, but he was just thrilled, absolutely thrilled to have his home race back. He just looks so amazingly happy. So made, but I'm glad McLaren. I like McLaren. I like Lando. I mean, I'm obviously like a Red Bull fan. I want to see Red Bull win all the time. I want to see Max win all the time. But there's something about Lando. He's just such like a kind of charming young man, and McLaren. I like to see them do well, and they are above the Mercedes, the Mercedes constructor. You have, I wrote down Hamilton P5 and Russell P5. Idiot. I think Russell's P6. I think they were back to back. So they're in the top 10. And Hamilton said he's eyeing up a podium. From P5, Hamilton could easily jump on that podium. But we'll have to see how, unfortunately, Carlos Sainz down in P9, not up with Leclerc, who's on pole to help defend against not only Mercedes, but obviously the very fast Red Bulls. So Sainz just did not have a good qualifying. He was trying to get on pole. They were talking about that, how he was going to try to get on pole, but he just didn't have a good qualifying. He's way down in P9, which is not good. You got Mercedes in front of him. I believe it's P5 and P6, Hamilton and Russell. So I think they're starting to work out their car. I mean, I can't imagine Mercedes struggling the whole season. I mean, unless their engine, remember the last couple years when Ferrari they got a slap on the wrist from the FIA and they had to, readjust their engine, and they ended up just sucking. Just not doing well because I think it was something to do with their fuel. They were messing with something and to do with their fuel, and it was illegal, and the FIA found out because they went from not winning to like winning races, and it was kind of odd. So but anyway, I just can't imagine Mercedes having major problems. Like, do you think Hamilton likes to lose or likes to not be doing well? Getting 10th where he just gets that 1 point. It's better than no points, but still. I just have a feeling that they're going to have some tricks up their sleeves. And I don't know if they're going to really be fighting for the championship, but it's just weird seeing them struggle after the past several years. It's just really strange. And I think they're going to get their shit together. I mean, they're already in the top 10. So let me see. She's doing the grid walk. Let me see what she's saying here. Sergio Perez. Penalty in the end for him. That was all good. And we moved. Wait a minute. Max alongside Charles. No, I think he's still good. I think Perez is still third. It's hard to tell because there's so many people around. And it's not like they have big numbers 1, 2, 3 like on the ground or anything. At least not that I could see. Ooh, the Australian national anthem. I wonder what that sounds like. Vettel P17. Sebastian Vettel missed the first 2 races due to the COVID. Oh, she's attractive. Wow, you should see this dress the young woman's wearing. This is doing the Australian national anthem. Oh, is she like some kind of like cockatoo? Look at this feathery thing with a bow, and it's got a train, I think you call it. It looks like a very bizarre wedding dress for maybe a bird-themed wedding. got feathers. All kind of. Do any other countries, when we do, like, we put our hands on our hearts? Do any other countries do that? I've always wondered about that because, like, when I see them, yeah, but again, they're not. Max Verstappen is not Australian, so why would he put his hand over his heart if he was in America listening to the American national anthem? He's not American. No one's kneeling. I don't see anyone kneeling. Oh my God, what kind of dress is this down under? Who's this guy? That mate. He's got some glasses. I'm not really a. I'm not gonna say I can do an Australian accent, though. The Australian accent is my favorite accent of all time. I love the Australian accent. Sebastian Vettel, not a great start to the season. Obviously, Stroll wasn't able. I don't even know where Stroll is on the grid because of that crash in Q1. I'm not sure where he ended up on the grid, to be honest. But Latifi's car was just destroyed. So you have Williams and Aston Martin kind of messing up together. But Sebastian Vettel, I can't, if he's going to be struggling in this Aston Martin all year, I really can't see him getting another season. Like, seriously. And what I mean is, I think he's going to retire. I really think he's gonna retire. I should share this. Why didn't I share this as soon as we started? Sharing it on DOS Facebook. Is there a link? Oh, there's a link. I'm going to share the link. Link has been shared with my friend on the Facebook. I don't have a Twitter. Do you guys have a Twitter? I should get a Twitter. Now that Elon Musk is involved, maybe I should have a Twitter. I need a nickname. Call me the last thing you bought today. Oh, I don't know this person. I'm not going to. I thought it was someone that I knew. I don't want to do that. But anyway, I don't really see Sebastian Vettel lasting too much longer, to be completely honest. I think he's going to retire. He's not in a competitive car. The Merc engine, I hate that. The British say Merc for Mercedes. Merc. I just don't like it. I don't like it because it's not Mercedes. Like, it's Mercedes. So they should call it a Merce if they're going to do that. Because, like, Merc, it's not how it's pronounced. It's very bizarre. It's Mercedes. It's very weird. I really don't like when they say Merc. I think that's kind of weird. Like, why do you have to shorten it? Just say Mercedes or a Benz. That's what we say. I drive a Benz. If someone says I drive a Benz, you know exactly what they mean. I drive a Merc. Okay, here's Gasly doing his tennis ball shit. I mean, I guess they do have to have crazy a reaction time. Look at him. I don't know if you've ever seen him do that. So after qualifying, they were interviewing Max Verstappen, and he said he was not comfortable in his car. It was just so crazy because he's on the front row with Charles Leclerc, but I was not comfortable in my car, and I'm not good all weekend, and I'm not sure what's going on. I just don't feel good in it." And it's like, imagine if you felt good in it. Holy shit. Here he is. Oh, this was from earlier from the parade. Again, I just don't think I can turn up the volume because I think it would be like a copyright thing. So I don't want to. So I'm just going to be commenting on what I see. Dude, I love how okay. I'm a huge watch fan, right? And Richard Mille is a sponsor of F1. And these are extremely expensive watches. They could be $1 million. A Richard Mille could be $1 million, 2 million. And here's Charles Leclerc, who has Richard Mille on his shirt. He's a sponsor. And he's wearing a Richard Mille watch and he's just casually wearing it. And it's just like so crazy. It's like crazy to me. But yeah, Max said he's not comfortable in his car. Not really sure what that means exactly, but he said he's not comfortable. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's a lot different when it's race time. And the Formula One Heineken Australian Grand Prix. Heineken. God, I bet they spend a lot of money for that. Yeah, but so I guess we'll see. Obviously, the last time Leclerc was on pole, Leclerc came right out in front of Verstappen to cut him off so he couldn't pass. So we'll see how things go. Oh, we got a sign of the cross. A little bit of a prayer. I think that's Gasly. I don't know. I don't know there are numbers. Like that was number 10. Is that Gasly? Yeah, because I don't think Albon would have done that. That looked like Gasly to me, but he had his helmet on. Here's Daniel Ricciardo jumping into his car. They have the umbrellas to keep him cool. You know what I think is weird? How the seasons are switched in Australia? That kind of like blows my mind. It's kind of real weird, right? Kind of like real strange. So we'll see how Max does. Obviously, you know me. I want Max to win every race. I want him on pole for every race. Oh my God. The bouncing cars, the porpoising. If you did a drinking game and every time they said porpoising, you took a drink, a quarter way through the race, you'd be on the floor. So these cars are creating, I guess, a level of downforce that causes them to bounce. And they were showing, I forget who it was. I think it was Leclerc. I can't remember who, but the helmet is just literally going up and down. And I don't know how they can drive like that. I mean, they got to. I don't remember ever hearing about porpoising in the past 4 seasons that I've watched. You know how I did that? I have 4 hats over here. I have 4. No, actually 3 seasons because those 2 are the same season. But I don't like Verstappen wears the flat bill. I hate the flat bill. I can't wear a flat bill hat. How does that look on me? It looks like shit. I like a curved bill hat. So 1, 2, 3 seasons up there. I have never heard them once mention porpoising. All right, so the pre-race show is over. So we're gonna have to wait for the app to reset, and we'll get the race going. Dude, I don't even know what they're talking about. All right, let's find the race here. Oop, wrong app. I don't know what this is. All right, right. Is this the race? Like, I kind of wish they would just connect the pre-show and the race, but I guess that's not how they do it. I don't know. I don't know if that's the. Here, let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here's the intro. I love the F1 theme song. If you don't know the F1 theme song, go and listen to it. I love it. I believe the composer was involved with the Avengers theme, so it has a very kind of like Avengers feel to it. Very cinematic. Yeah, very cinematic. So here's a cool stat. Check this out. Valtteri Bottas did not get into Q3. He had 103 consecutive appearances in Q3, but he did not make it into Q3 this race. This is first time not getting into Q3 in 103 races. That is insane. All right, let's check out. We got 58 laps, 3.28 miles. 14 turns. I think it said 3 DRS zones. There's 4, 1, 2, 3. There's 5. Oh, wow, there's a lot of circuit updates. I'm not going to go through everything here. Yeah. They've really made some changes. Sped up the track a bit. Always 3 sets of tires, the C5, the C3, and the C2, the soft, medium, and hard. Obviously, I don't think it looks like there's going to be any rain involved, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, here we go. The starting grid. We got in 20, Alex Albon, and 19th, Lance Stroll. We got Nicholas Latifi with Sebastian Vettel, 18 and 17. We got Kevin Magnussen with Mick Schumacher. The Haas's are sharing 16th and 15th. Guan Yu Zhou and Yuki Tsunoda, 14 and 13th. Valtteri Bottas is 12th. Pierre Gasly is 11th. You got Fernando Alonso in 10th, and Carlos Sainz, disappointingly, 9th on the grid. Esteban Ocon is 8th, and Daniel Ricciardo is 7th. So top 10 for McLaren. George Russell is 6th. Lewis Hamilton is 5th. The Mercedes. Lando is 4th. Sergio Perez is 3rd, so he did not get a grid penalty. And we got Max and Leclerc sharing the front row. Wow, this is going to be a great race. I think it's going to be a really nice race. Daniel Ricciardo, man, I don't think he ever should have left Red Bull. I just really don't think. However, you know, they are Max's. I mean, that's Max's. That's Max's team, though. You know, at the end of the day, he's the king. He is the king. All right, so they are getting ready to roll. I am wondering. Yeah, so Jason and I talked about on one of our shows that Latifi was going to get replaced, but apparently not. And you think after today, or I'm sorry, well, technically yesterday. It's funny because I watched qualifying today, and now I'm watching the race. You know, it's going to be 1 a.m. here on the East Coast. I'm on the East Coast of the United States, so I'm going to be staying up all night watching this. So it's about to turn 1. It's now 1 a.m. here on the East Coast, and this race is going to be getting underway. The warming blankets are off for Sergio Perez. Everyone's running off the grid, and they're going to be doing the formation lap. Oh, this visor cam is crazy. There's Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso. I'm not. I mean, you know what? I'm not a fan, and but I don't dislike him. I didn't watch F1 when he was winning his championships, so I'm not really like a Fernando Alonso guy. God, this Heineken 0.0, like the alcohol free Heineken, like I just like. I mean, I guess. Okay, first off, obviously, if you're an alcoholic, that's a different thing. You want to enjoy the appearance of having a beer, the taste of a beer without the alcohol. I can understand that. But like, are there people who just drink alcohol-free beer? Like, just I don't know. That just seems weird to me. I feel like for me, like I'm having a drink, I'm having a drink. You know? I mean, I can understand for alcoholics and stuff, people who have an issue. Oh, Max, what's going on with Max's car? Oh, this is a replay. Oh my god, I thought that was right now. They have the wing off, the front wing off. Oh my god, I thought that was right now. As if like he wasn't in the formation lap because his front wing was off. Man, don't do that to me, F1. You know I'm a Max fan. Total attendance 419,000 people. What? That can't be real. Are you serious? Can I go back? Let me go back. Total attendance 419,144 people. Largest weekend. Oh my God. So Ferrari is leading both championships, obviously. 400,000 people. Where are they all? Oh my God. That's incredible. I've always wanted to go to an F1 race, but that's a lot of people. 419,000 people in Melbourne right now for this race. Now, obviously, the race isn't just one day, 1 hour. It's over a whole weekend. You got practice sessions, qualifying. There's all kind of stuff going on. Wow, that's a lot of people. I had no idea that many people went to F1 races. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, this is TMPS Nightcap, the 2022 Australian Grand Prix for Formula One, my live reaction. Obviously, you can't hear the race because I probably can't do that because my video will be taken down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. It's lights out and the race is going. Wow, here we go. The 2022 Australian Grand Prix. Leclerc is all over the track trying to make sure that Verstappen does not get the upper hand. It looks like a Mercedes has already overtaken Perez and Lando. That has to be Hamilton's already up to P3. Yeah, man, he just finds a way. He's just so incredible. And Sergio Perez, I guess, just couldn't, so now you have the Ferrari, you have Leclerc. It looks like Leclerc, Verstappen, then Hamilton, then Perez, then Russell, and the two McLarens. So it looks like Hamilton was able to quickly put on lap one, right out of the gate, put himself on the podium. That is unreal. That is, yep, there it is. Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Norris, and Ricciardo right out of the gate. And you know how the start of races are. They're real close together. They're all trying to jockey for position. And Sainz is way down now and he's all the way down in 14th. He ran off the track and he went from 9th down to 14th. And Sainz is just not having a good weekend at all. did not qualify well and obviously is not racing well today. So Leclerc is all alone up front, and he will have the Red Bulls and the Mercedes on his tail, jockeying for position and getting on the podium. Yeah, you have Hamilton jumping up 2 places, Gasly and Tsunoda also jumping up 2 places each. What a start to this race. Man, it's going to be a good one. Listen, if nothing changes, obviously we got a long way to go. This is only race number 2. I'm sorry, number 3. So we have a long way to go. But if nothing changes, this is Ferrari's year. Championship for the constructor and Leclerc for the driver. I mean, they are really something. They are really, really something. They're just blowing up the track. They got a cool car. They're fast. Leclerc is fast. Sainz has been doing great, but hey, it's like Sainz is up, Sainz is gone. Sainz has crashed. Well, he is off of the track. He is in the gravel. He is now stuck, and we have a yellow flag. His wheels were spinning in the gravel, and it is not Sainz's weekend at all. We got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Sainz, unfortunately, is probably, I'm assuming, out of this race. I think once you hit the gravel like that, he's stuck. He is stuck. And we got some Sainz radio. I know that you guys can't hear it. Oh, Carlos Sainz. Let's okay, so he's going along, and just loses it. He's in the grass and then gets back on the track and just spins out. Doesn't really regain. Oh no, he never had control of the car after he went in the grass, and his car and that Alpha almost T-boned him. And there is his wheels are spinning. He is swamped in the gravel. And virtual safety car. So on lap 3, we got ourselves a virtual safety car. He's not even facing the right way. See, here, I don't know, like, if they could get the car back on the track, but I guess, listen, he's already now like a lap down. So I guess it's one of those things where even if you can get the car back on the track, it obviously isn't crashed. The car looks fine. I don't know what that kind of gravel or going over the grass does to the under. Okay, now we have a full safety car. It's the Aston Martin safety car. I think Aston Martin and Mercedes are sharing duties this season. So we have a legit safety car now, I'm pretty sure. And we're going to get a replay of the race start. And Leclerc gets off well. Verstappen moving right behind him in position. There's Perez. And then, boom, coming up right. Oh, wow, look at that. Coming up right there. Hamilton just saw that gap and took it and overtook Perez to get into P3. Now we're watching from Hamilton's car. Moves out. Yeah, boom. Just takes it. Finds that gap, and boom. Perez is left in the dust. Lando Norris getting off well, but I'm going to see Hamilton. There he comes. Dude, that's unbelievable. And dude. I kind of feel bad for Lando just getting overtaken by the 2 Mercedes. And Carlos, man, just, hey, when you think about it, hockey, baseball, so many games per season. You can't win them all. And I think for Sainz, you're allowed to have a bad race. I mean, it's, oh man, oh my God. His car he just lost control of it. All right, we got Lance Stroll coming in for a pit stop. They only mention Lance Stroll when he does something wrong or someone's overtaking him. Yeah, there's the crane. It's a beached Ferrari. Carlos Sainz is out. The crane is there. They're going to get him out of there. We got a real safety car on lap 4. And I might take this opportunity to refill my drink. And dude, they pop off that steering wheel. That's so nuts. God, look how they're in there. So I don't know if you guys know this, but for those maybe who aren't F1 fans, they don't sit in the car. They actually lay in the car with so he's holding the steering wheel here. His knees are like right under his hands, and the legs go out in a laying position. It's really wild. And their asses are almost like on the ground. It's like really incredible. Melbourne. I've always wanted to go to Australia. Always. It's like a dream of mine to go to Australia. It's just so far. It's just so far. Like the amount of Ambien I would need to fly there. Wait a minute. Lance Stroll's back into the pits again? Or is this a replay? What the heck was that? 3-second pit stop. They're a little slow this year. Apparently, the wheels and tires are much heavier because it's now an 18-inch wheel, I'm pretty sure. And they're not as quick as they used to be. It's also new cars. So, they might just, they had pretty much the same cars for a long time. So they were able to, really hammer down those pit stops. Now we have brand new vehicles, new regulations, new wheel and tire sizes. They got those things over the wheel now, or over the tire, like a little eyebrow looking thing. Oh, okay. It was frozen there for a second. Maybe that makes it a little difficult because if you throw the tire up and hit that little wing thing, it's not good. And there's Carlos Sainz heading off on a moped back to the pits. Vettel. So when was this? What was this? This was what? During practice? We were talking about this the other day. Vettel jumped on a moped. One of the marshals took one of their mopeds, I'm sure asked permission or asked the marshal, and was riding around the circuit on this marshal's moped, and Vettel was fined 5,000 euros because it's just not safe for him to be on a moped going around an F1 racetrack. So, and I read he was like, it's just so ridiculous. It's so crazy. He said, like, what are they going to do with that 5,000 euros? Because I think Verstappen touched, I think it was last year, Verstappen touched Hamilton's rear wing and was fined 50,000 euros. And Vettel was like, what happened to that 50,000 euros? Like, no one knows. All right. Oh, I missed my chance to get a drink. Safety car in this lap. That's okay. I don't need to be drinking. It's just, the show is called Nightcap. So I'm having myself a little nightcap. God, this visor cam. How do they see? How do they know where they're going? It's like incredible. Their field of vision is so small, so narrow. But I'm pretty sure, listen, when you're going 200 miles per hour, I'm pretty sure you need to have the track memorized. Like, I'm sure that these guys, especially someone like Hamilton, even though this track has been modified, they have a simulator time where they sit in like an arcade kind of looking video game. Obviously, it's much more realistic. And they practice the track over and over again. So they got these tracks memorized. Okay, now the safety car is ending, and then what happens is the leader, Charles Leclerc, becomes the de facto safety car, and he gets to choose when to restart the race, basically, when to get back up to race pace. When you follow racing, you got to know the terminology. Race pace. All right, green flag, safety car in. Leclerc's going to pick his moment. And it looks like, are we going here? Is this the pit straight? Yep. I think we're underway here. Looks like it. Oh, there's the porpoising. Just the cars just that would drive me insane. That would drive me insane. That would drive me insane. All right, so we're back underway. It is now lap 7 of 58. Leclerc is still leading. Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez, Russell, Norris, Ricardo, Ocon, Ocon, Gasly, Alonso, Sonoda, Bottas, uh, uh, Schumacher. See, they put MSC instead of like SCH or whatever, however Schumacher SCS starts for Mick Schumacher. Because I guess back in the day, Michael Schumacher and his brother raced together. What was his brother's name? I can't remember. There was another Schumacher. So when I see MSC, it always because I didn't watch F1 back when when his father Michael Schumacher raced. So, I didn't know that they had MSC for Michael Schumacher. Now they have it for Mick Schumacher. And then was it Guan Yu Zhou, Magnussen, Vettel, Latifi, Albon, Stroll, and Sainz is out. Poor Carlos Sainz. So this is actually good for Red Bull, obviously, because if both Red Bulls finish this race high up, Sainz isn't going to be there to get points. So it's going to help because, the first race in the season in Bahrain, Red Bull had 2 DNFs and they lost, I think, potentially 30 points. So, not having Sainz able to get points, as long as Perez and Verstappen can either get on the podium or stay up there, they could, gain a little bit of ground. You know what I mean? So hey, listen, Ferrari's a great team. Obviously, they're the number 1 team right now, and it's too bad Sainz is out, but it helps my team, Red Bull, maybe get some extra points or points to help them catch up with Ferrari. But right now, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton always finds a way. Always finds a way. He is just that kind of athlete. I caught up on the Masters. That Tiger's not doing well. Listen, when I watch Tiger, when I was watching him on TV the other day, which was yesterday, just not good. He just looks like he's struggling. He really looks like he's struggling. And it's just not good. So we got some pretty easy racing here, just kind of a parade going. Verstappen is almost 1.4 behind Leclerc, so he's not going to be getting any of the DRS. And it's not good, if he wants to take. But again, it's only lap 9, so we got a long way to go here. You know what I mean? It's a long way to go. So it's it'd be nice to overtake him early and try to. All right, here is Perez coming up on Hamilton. See, I do wish I had my iPad because I can't read these numbers. They're so small. Perez is definitely within 1 second of Hamilton. So I think if Perez can get going here, I think this is a DRS. Man, these speeds are unbelievable. If he can get I think, is his wing open? See, I should have my iPad. So next time, the phone is too small. I got to have my big iPad Pro here so I could see better. I could read all these numbers and data. Here we go. Perez is about to overtake Lewis Hamilton. It is successful. Perez is back up into P3 ahead of Hamilton. But again, with these powerful DRS zones, with these new cars that can follow each other better, Hamilton could definitely take that place back without a doubt. But we'll see. Perez is holding that position right now. So we got Leclerc, Verstappen, and Perez. Hamilton, followed by George Russell. So this looks like it used to look all the time with Ferraris, Red Bulls, and Mercedes all up at the top. And there's Sainz. They're showing Sainz just, doing a nice casual walk. Still has his helmet on. He is not going to be racing anymore today. So that's good. My boys are back up. I mean, overall, the Red Bull car is superior this season to the Mercedes. And obviously, Ferrari is superior to everyone else. Someone just ran off the track. Number 5. Oh, that's Vettel. Isn't Vettel 5? Red 5? Yeah, he just went off into the gravel. I'm telling you, Vettel's last, 19th. Would you want to? He's a 4-time champion, and he's just, listen, you know how it is. You love to race, but there comes a point where it's like Kimi Räikkönen. Like, eventually, could Kimi Räikkönen still be racing? Obviously. But he's got a family. He's got kids. I think he's raced the most laps of any driver ever. Man, Vettel was able to get out of the gravel. Sainz wasn't. But Sainz had a much more vicious ordeal where he was on one side of the track in the grass, then slid over to the other side in the gravel, and he was beached. Vettel just ran off, and the car never really stopped. I mean, Sainz was facing the wrong way. His car was totally flipped around. Excuse me. Not good to cough. Cough on air. I need like a cough button. Actually, the only thing about my mixer that I wish it had buttons where I could just press a button and turn off a mic without turning it down, because you find like the right setting for the mic, like the right volume. And like if I have to cough, I wish I could just like push the button, cough, push it again or release it, and then I don't have to turn my mic all the way down and then back up, and then the volume's not correct. Like, you know what I mean? Hold on. What does this button do? Oh, no. That one's okay. That one's okay. All right, my boys, the Red Bulls, P2, P3. Oh, Leclerc, the Verstappen is just not, he's not keeping up with Leclerc. He locked up. He locked up. Man, can you imagine driving one of these cars? That'd be just incredible. Yeah, he's almost 4 seconds behind Leclerc now. Now he's 4 seconds behind. So he is not even close to being within DRS range. But, there is also pit stop strategy. So you never know what could happen in the pits. But Hamilton and Russell are 4 and 5. They are staying up there, followed by the McLarens, Norris and Ricciardo. What's Valtteri Bottas doing here? Does he's going to pass someone up? Can you imagine 103 straight races where you've been in Q1? And now that record has been, it's no longer. He had 103 consecutive qualifyings where he hit Q1. That is insane. Valtteri Bottas is like, I don't think he's anyone's favorite driver. Like, I've never met someone, oh my God, I love Valtteri Bottas. He's a solid number 2, man. Ricky Bobby. He's John C. Riley. He's a solid number 2. Hamilton could always rely on him to be there to help battle the Ferraris and the Red Bulls. And yes, Valtteri did win in his time, but, he's not great. But you know what I mean? He's just really good. It's kind of hard. It's kind of a weird thing, you know? He's a solid driver. Where are my Haas buddies? Oh, man. Haas was doing really well in the first two races, except when Schumacher's car broke in half. I was really hoping that Magnussen he was promising there for a bit. But now he's down in 12, P12, so just not doing great. Someone just had a pit stop. Oh, it's Latifi. Latifi spends most of his time in the wall. God, he crashes a lot. It's Mickey Mouse, man. It's just so bizarre. There's only 20 people on this planet that are F1, like, obviously they have reserve drivers and stuff. So there are other people who drive F1 cars. But I mean, in the race, there's only 20 of them, and you still have jabronis like Stroll and Vettel. I'm sorry, Stroll and Latifi. I was reading Vettel. He's now in 18th. Latifi's down in 19th. Unreal. Bottas taking over. Oh no. Oh shoot. He was trying to overtake Yuki Tsunoda. Locked up big time. Big time lockup. Lap 15 of 58. Again, guys, we haven't changed at all. It's a nice parade of Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Ricardo. And who's in the pits? We got a Haas in the pits. That is Mick Schumacher hanging out in the pits. This race is brought to you by Salesforce. I remember, I was watching TV. I don't know if it was the Super Bowl or something. And yeah, it was a Super Bowl. And they were like, fly Turkish Airways. I'm like, can I fly? Does my local airport in Pennsylvania have Turkish Airways? I mean, that's such a weird. It's like a weird thing, It's like, do I have to go to Turkey to fly Turkish Airways, or I'm not really sure why you're sponsoring the Super Bowl. Also, I love brought to you by avocados. Just avocados, not like a company, not like Jim's Avocados or it's just avocados. Please go buy avocados. If you haven't seen it, go on Instagram and type in recess therapy. It is one of the funniest things I've ever watched. And find the kid, I think his name is Dylan. He loves Komodo dragons. It is so funny. It is so ridiculously funny. Seriously. It's this guy. He looks like he could be, he's under 30. I don't think he's over 30. And he has a microphone and he goes, it looks like he lives in New York City. And he goes to a playground. I don't think it's a school. It looks like it's a playground. But again, it's really just him and the kid. So it's not huge sweeping wide shots where you can tell where they are exactly. But it looks like New York. Oh, someone's off the track in the grass, back on. That was definitely a Haas, I believe. Yep. And he's back on the track. I can't tell which one. I think, it was definitely Mick Schumacher went off into the grass. Now he's way down in P18. But anyway, so it's called recess therapy. And so this guy goes and he interviews kids in a playground. And kids do say the darndest things. But there's this kid, Dylan, who just loves Komodo dragons. And it is among the funniest shit you will ever watch, because these kids just say really funny stuff. And it is just so funny. And Dylan is hysterical. This little kid, he goes, I'm a clam man. I just love clams. He goes, have you ever tried mussels? Oh, I don't like mussels. And the one girl is like, oh, I know this really bad word and I just don't want to say it. And he's like, well, can you say it? She's just like, "Oh, it's so bad. It's like a really bad word." And he's like, "Well, can you spell it?" She goes, STOOPID, which is stupid. So like to her, and then he spelled like butt, like BUTT, and she goes, "Oh, it's a bad word." And it's just like this incredible, just amazing innocence and youth that, you wish you could live in like forever, but it's just not possible. It's like you have to grow up one day. And you just wish you could be a kid like that for the rest of your life. You think stupid is among the worst words ever, and you haven't even scratched the surface of bad words. And we got an Alpine in the pits. So BWT, who used to uh the Pink Panthers, but now who did they sponsor? Force India, Racing Point. And now, but that team's now Aston Martin. So BWT went over to Alpine. So now the Alpine color is blue, but then they have like the pink trim for the BWT. But they had fully pink cars, I think, for the first two races. So they were like the Pink Panthers, and now they're back to the Alpine blue with the pink BWT highlights wherever that is on the car. It's a cool looking car. The Alfa Romeo is a really sexy car. The Ferrari, I've said this a million times, the Ferrari is just an outstanding looking machine. And I don't know if it's just because it's like all red or how the side pods look. It just is a really sexy machine. And we got box for Max Verstappen. He is coming into the pit on lap 19. Let's see. You know what? I didn't notice. Oh, they're all on medium tires, hard tires. I'm not sure what Max started on. Max started on the reds. Oh, no, sorry, on mediums, and now he's going on hard tires. So he's coming out way down in P7. He's coming out the pit exit, but again, a lot of people haven't pitted. So, that's the pit strategy. You know what I mean? That is the pit strategy. You pit when you need to, and when other people pit, you have your new tires, and so it's like, I mean, pitting is interesting because obviously Pirelli could design a tire that could last 58 laps. They obviously can do that, but they don't. They put in these manufactured rules to create strategy. So one of the rules is you have to use there's going to be three kinds of tires: soft, medium, and hard. And you have to use two of them during a race. And the soft will last so many laps, the least. The medium will last a few more, and the hard will last the longest. And there used to be this arbitrary rule that whatever tires you qualified in Q2, we got Hamilton. It has DRS. His wing is open. He is behind Perez. We have Leclerc, Perez, Hamilton, and his DRS is closed, and he was not able to overtake Perez, but he is right behind him. He is eyeing up P2. He wants to be on that podium. And man, I guess it's only lap 20 of 58, but still, you got to put yourself in position. And it's like Hamilton's an unbelievable driver. So if he gets up behind Leclerc, forget it. But look, Perez is 17 seconds behind the leader, behind Leclerc. So it's like, he's out there racing by himself, basically. He's racing a Latifi who's in 19th. You know what I mean? Only 0.5 seconds behind Perez. Hamilton will have DRS as long as he stays that close. We have 3 DRS zones, I believe, on this track. He's 0.7. He's kind of fallen back a bit, but his wing is now open, down to 0.5 seconds behind Perez. He's coming up behind him. We got a wide angle here. They're coming around this new turn, and DRS is closed. He wasn't able to do it again. So, I'm kind of surprised, to be completely honest. I'm kind of surprised. Oh, well, we got Perez in the pits. And obviously, because Perez went into the pit, Hamilton will inherit P2 followed by Mr. George Russell. And we got Norris. Lando Norris from McLaren is in the pit. People are starting to pit. Lap 19, 20, 21. We're getting some pit stop action. And I'm sure everyone's hopping on those hard tires and getting off the mediums. They're dropping down, but hey, you got Perez, Verstappen. They pit. Verstappen's already back up to P5 behind Ricciardo, but Ricciardo hasn't pitted. Russell, Leclerc, Hamilton, they're still on the medium tires. So, eventually they're going to have to pit. And when they do, so basically right now, Verstappen is in de facto lead because the people ahead of him have not pitted. So they're all going to pit at some point, allowing Verstappen to get up the order. So that's obviously a strategy that Red Bull has put into place so they can possibly, get over on the Ferraris. I'm kind of getting thirsty. Yeah, so Verstappen's got 2 laps on his hards. You got Leclerc has 21 on his mediums. So that's how it is. You know what I mean? That's how but hey, the longer they stretch those mediums, and I think Ricciardo's coming into the pit. Yeah, because it has to be because Norris has already pitted. But here's the thing though. It's lap 22 of 58. I don't know how many laps these hard tires are meant to go, but at the end of the race, Verstappen is going to have much older tires than Leclerc. So if it ends up being those two gambles that you just have to take. My connection's unstable. Okay, I think we're reconnected. It said my connection was unstable. Come on, what's with my internet? No. Come on, yay, okay. Pit stops are 19 plus seconds. That he is going to get a free pit stop and remain in the lead. Holy heck. And Hamilton's in the pit. I didn't even notice that. That Leclerc was so far ahead that my internet. Oh no. Come on, interwebs. Don't go out on me. And Verstappen has the fastest lap, which still gets a point for this season. They didn't take that away. I believe that's come and gone. Point for fastest lap. That's not been a consistent rule. I think it's coming and going in F1. And because my internet is just shitting the bed. All right, we have who is racing who here? Hamilton is, I think, racing Perez. Safety car. Oh, and guess who it is? Oh, boy, it's Sebastian Vettel with Aston Martin. And his car has shit the bed. Russell is in the pits, which puts Leclerc and Verstappen back in P1 and P2. See, guys, how it works with these pit stops? It all comes back around again. You could be in 12th, and the next thing you know, you're back up in P2 just because of pit stops. Wow. Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, and we have Sebastian Vettel beached on the side of the track. We have a safety car. And, we got some debris. Is that parts of Vettel's car? So there must have been some kind of crash. Holy crap. I can't even tell what. Okay, so here we go. Vettel's doing his thing. Driving along. Hits the curb. Spins out. Hits the curb and spins out. Finds himself a nice place to park. Yep, just hits that curb and just loses it. Destroys his front wing. And he just parks himself on the side of the track. I'm going to take this opportunity, I think, to refill my beverage. And there's the Aston Martin green. Beautiful safety car. So I am going to take this opportunity while they clear Vettel's car to get myself a drink. Oh. What are they replaying here? I think it's Hamilton over. I'm sorry, Verstappen overtaking Hamilton. I think they're doing a little replay here. Someone overtaking someone. Yeah, because Verstappen's back up in P2, so I think it has to be that. Yeah, that's what they're replaying. And it looks like a marshal is pushing Sebastian Vettel's car off of the track. Man, I would love to see these cars in person. Wouldn't that be insane? I would love to see them in person. All right. Lap 25 under the safety car. We're approaching halfway. So we got 2 safety cars so far. Leclerc has 2 laps on his hards. Verstappen has 6. Russell has 1. Alonso has 24. Where's Hamilton? He's down in 6th. Perez is in 5th. So obviously Alonso has not pitted yet. I think that's what's happening here. Perez needs to get his shit together. After Alonso pit, wait. Okay, first off, it's a safety card. Like that's when you pit. Like it's like a free pit stop. Like I'm surprised Alonso. Yeah, but he's on hard tires though, so that's why. But yeah, but I don't know. Hey, listen, I'm not a strategist here. I don't know how this stuff works. I should have found out how many laps. Well, you know what it is when you watch the race for real, and you have professional commentators who know what they're talking about, unlike me. They have all that info. They know, they can tell you exactly. Pirelli says this track with this weather, with whatever, these conditions, because every track is different. Like, was it the Bahrain track is like super, super harsh, you know, and then like this track is brand new. So, or this, they repaved it. So, you know, it could be really, really smooth, you know. So maybe on a harsher track, a soft tire can go 25, but you know, on a smoother track, it can go 30. I mean, I don't know. Lap 26 of 58, and so we still have the safety car. Please visit my website, TMPS, T as in Tom, M as in Michael, P as in Paul, S as in show, podcast.com, tmpspodcast.com. You're going to see links to my podcast. This YouTube is a extension of the podcast. I do the podcast with my co-host Jason. That is like the show. That is TMPS. This is something new that I just started. It's called TMPS Nightcap, where I do evening, like a late night show, like the Tonight Show, where I wear a suit and I go over topics of the day and talk about stuff. Hit my pen like Johnny Carson. This is a weird, wild race. Ed, we have another safety car. I wish I could do like impressions, like really good impressions. I'd love to be a good, like when I hear a good like impersonator, that's so impressive to me. I've always wanted to be able to do that kind of stuff, like a Johnny Carson. Well, that's weird, wild stuff, you know. Macho Man. Oh yeah. I love doing Macho Man. Charles Leclerc is the cream of the crop. That kind of shit. I wish I could do that stuff. Yeah, go to tmpspodcast.com. On the homepage, on the main page, you'll see links to my podcast, which is on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, and you'll see a link to TMPS Nightcap to this YouTube channel where you can see TMPS Nightcap content plus other YouTube content that I have. That's just kind of random stuff. Some good, some not so good. And please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your kids. Maybe not your kids. I mean, it's adult. It's definitely adult. We curse and kind of talk about anything. Not too explicit, but it's there. All right, the race is going. The race is going. Leclerc, Verstappen, and Max Verstappen is overtaking Leclerc, but no, Leclerc comes out in front in the turn. And I believe after a safety car, there's no DRS for 2 laps. So Max will not have the benefit of DRS for at least 2 laps. We got Verstappen right behind Leclerc, followed by Russell, Alonso, Perez, Hamilton, and Magnussen is now up in 7th. Good Haas and Magnussen. I love Haas, the only American F1 team. I like seeing Haas do well because I am an American. A little bit of pride there, and they do have the Ferrari power unit, and the Ferrari power unit seems to be the best power unit to come out of these new regulations. And so, they're obviously not going to be, not going to be as good as Ferrari, but with that power unit, they have the potential of doing much better than they've done in the most recent seasons. And Verstappen is zero point 0.8 seconds behind Leclerc. Come on, buddy, keep in that DRS zone. I said earlier that Max was not feeling comfortable in his car this weekend, and I don't understand that. I mean, my understanding is that when they ship the cars, they don't ship them whole. Like they ship them in pieces. So they have to put the car back together. And I'm also assuming that, they kind of change the cars, alter them a bit to suit each track. And I mean, Verstappen has fallen out of DRS range. I'm not really sure what he's doing there, but it is only lap 28 out of 58. Is that, see, I got to use my iPad. I can't see that. 58. So, I mean, I like how it can hang out in this little thing. So I can I don't have to be I could just be looking at right here, but it's too small. I can barely read all the numbers and stuff. It's just too small. So I'm going to use my iPad next time. Yeah, Verstappen's 1.5 seconds behind the leader, Charles Leclerc, being, comfortably outside of DRS to get that rear wing open. But he, again, we still got a long way to go. There could be tire preservation going on. Maybe from the start, if he had that chance to overtake, to do it. And without DRS for 2 laps, he could, comfortably push ahead a little bit. But he didn't make it happen. So I guess in my view, it's, hey, pump the brakes, literally. Save your tires. His tires are older than Charles's tires. So if he pushes it now, he won't have the tire life to push it in the future when it comes down to who's going to be on the top spot in the podium places. So I can completely understand why Max might be holding back a little bit. I'm more worried about Perez. I want Perez to jump ahead of Alonso, which I think he can do. Perez is on newer tires. Alonso hasn't pitted. I think he's still on those hard tires. And Perez is in DRS range, 0.5 seconds behind Alonso. So as soon as he can open that rear wing, I think Perez could definitely overtake Alonso, which will put him up into P4, right behind Russell. Where's Hamilton? He's down in P6. Let me see what's going on here. I wish they would tell you who they're showing. Serious, Sergio Perez. Because the Red Bulls look the same. It's not like one has Sergio Perez written across the front of it. So Perez is still, I think he's still within DRS. That rear wing is open. Come on, overtake Alonso, dude. He's chilling on old hard tires, man. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. I need that Bacardi in my life. Come on, you can overtake Alonso. He's only a 2-time world champion. It's no big deal. He's in an Alpine, for God's sakes. Rock and roll here. It's a Renault engine. Only they use it. Here we go. Come on, Perez. I don't know what 100 and 200. Oh my God, he's approaching 300 kilometers per hour. Oh my God, here we go. Perez is now overtaking Fernando Alonso to get into P4, right behind George Russell, Verstappen, and Leclerc. Thank you, Sergio Perez, for getting back up there now. It looks like George Russell is next on Perez's list to get back in the podium places. Let's rock and roll, Sergio Perez. Obviously, I'm a big Red Bull fan, as you can tell by my gear and my championship hat for Mr. Max Verstappen. Lap 30 of 58. And Perez has just overtaken Alonso to get up to P4. And now he's got the George Russell next. Let's watch this. DRS, open wing, boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know, I wish I had cool sayings like Mike Lang from the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like, make them a milkshake malkin. I like when they say right in the breadbasket when the puck hits the goalie, like right, like in the torso, like right, you know, in the breadbasket. Wait, what did I just watch here? Did I just watch Hamilton overtake Alonso? And why are they showing Mick Schumacher in the Haas? Dude, this screen is so small. I screwed myself here. Yep, Hamilton overtook Alonso to go up into P5. Alonso's now down in P6, followed by Mr. Magnussen in P7, and then the McLarens are behind him, I think. Oh, my God, look at the sparks. Look at those sparks. Holy crap. It's like a fireworks display. The downforce, these cars, they get so low to the ground that they scrape and just create all kind of sparks. It's like unbelievable. You wonder, like, what are they damaging under there? Are they damaging something? Man, I like McLaren. I want Norris to do well. I really do. I want Norris to do well. Ricardo, I don't know. You know, it's funny. I saw something that Ricardo said after they announced the Las Vegas race for 2023. Ricardo said that he was going to retire, but now he's not because he wants to race in Vegas. And knowing Ricardo, that could probably be like a joke. But also, Ricardo was supposed to be a champion. You know, he used to win races with like Red Bull. He had championship, you know, pedigree or whatever you want to call it, skills. But he made a bad decision going to Renault, and then now McLaren. And McLaren thinking, wow, we're going to get a great Mercedes power unit. And, well, you know, they didn't account for the regulation changes. Like, just because Mercedes is rocking and rolling today with these regulations doesn't mean they're going to solve the. But again, they were so dominant, and it makes you think that they fall ass backwards into that great engine for the past several years. 8 championships, 8 constructor championships, 7 driver championships for Hamilton. I mean, you think, you know, I don't think it was by mistake that they just, you know, Forrest Gumped their way into those championships with a lucky good engine. So you would think as McLaren, we're going to have regulation changes, and who's going to be the best person to figure them out? Mercedes, because they did it last time. Well, it was Ferrari. And obviously Red Bull, because so far Ferrari and Red Bull have been the winners of the races. Leclerc has overtaken Verstappen for the fastest lap. Okay, that was kind of misleading. I just mean now Leclerc has the fastest lap, where Verstappen used to have the fastest lap. Overtake is a bad because it makes it sound like Leclerc's already ahead of Verstappen, so Leclerc can't overtake. He's already ahead. Ooh, visor cam. Oh, that sun's a real bitch down under. That sun's a real bitch. Russell still in P3, Perez P4, Hamilton P5. Let's see who's down. Latifi is last. Guan Yu Zhou, I think is how you pronounce his name. I believe he's the first Chinese driver. Though when I think of China, I don't think of race car driving. Japan, however, they have a lot of race car driving. You don't really think about race car driving when you think of China. Tsunoda is down there, or Yuki Tsunoda, I should say. Schumacher's down there. You know, I don't know much about much, and I'm pretty sure Mick Schumacher was the F2 champion. But and I know he has the famous last name. It's like, when Tiger Woods, when his son gets old enough, he's going to be invited to golf places because he's Tiger Woods' son. And I kind of wonder really how good Mick Schumacher is. He's also a kid. He's so young. And it makes me wonder, you know, maybe Nico Hulkenberg should be in that car and they should let Mick be the reserve driver for a couple years. Mature a little bit. I mean, he's doing a fine job. I mean, yeah, he had that major crash, but that happens. It's part of the gig. Everyone crashes. It's part of the gig. You got to learn how to crash. It's going to happen. I mean, look at Vettel. Vettel's driving along. He took a curb the wrong way, and then his car went into the wall. I mean, it just happens. I mean, you're going between 100 and 200 miles per hour. I mean, it's insane. Literally insane. Lap 35 of 58. It's Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell, Perez, Hamilton, top five. Bit of a parade right now. Not really a lot going on up front. I think they're just kind of, in my mind, from watching F1 for the past few years, they're just kind of preserving tires, letting things go the way that they're going to go, waiting for those last 10 laps to make moves to get going. But we got Perez coming up on Russell, though. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Perez is starting to make some moves on Russell. They got a fight for P3 going on right now. I believe Perez is definitely in DRS range, so that rear wing could open up at any time. I got to look up why they got rid of that fourth DRS zone. I wonder if it was just too much. Because, passing is kind of dangerous. You know what I mean? Maybe they thought it would be too dangerous to have that much passing opportunity. Too many opportunities for crashes, maybe. Oh, come on, Perez. You can do it. You can do it. Let's overtake Russell. Come on. Let's get back to the starting grid positions. Oh, there was a safety car infringement. The stewards, there's some people under investigation. Ooh. Let's just get rid of the stewards. Let's just race. Elbows out. Come on, Perez. Man, so I got into F1 by watching Drive to Survive. And I would love to know how many new F1 fans there are after Drive to Survive came out. I would love to know that because I'll never forget it. I was just trying to find something to watch on Netflix. There's a thing called Drive to Survive. Okay, here we go. Sergio Perez has overtaken George Russell to get back up into the podium places, P3, behind Verstappen and Leclerc. But I got to tell you, George Russell is still close behind. Leclerc has a new fastest lap, and they're going down the pit straight where we're going to have I think that's usually always a DRS zone. So we'll see if Russell, maybe not. I didn't see Russell's rear wing open up. They have a really wide shot right now, so I can't really see what the car looks like. But George Russell is still right behind Perez, so obviously there could definitely be another opportunity for George Russell to overtake Sergio Perez to get back up into the podium places. I kind of feel bad for George Russell. I think a lot of people thought only if he was in a great car like a Mercedes could he start really getting on podiums and maybe even like winning races. And because he was, stuck down there with like Williams, and he finally made it to the big team, to the constructor team, and now their car is not that great. And it's all relative because look, Russell and Hamilton are in P4 and P5. Okay, that's some good points. If the race ended right now, that is some good points for Mercedes. But it's all relative. Okay, last year Hamilton and Bottas would be winning. They would be in P1 and P2. So like that's all relative. So like Mercedes being in P4 and P5 is like a failure. Like if you're a fan of F1, you're like, what's wrong with them? Like they might as well be 19th and like 20th. All right, so Verstappen took the fastest lap away from the Leclerc. So I'm wondering if Verstappen, now we're lap 38 of 58. I wonder if Verstappen is thinking it's time to make some money moves. Some moves. And get one up on Leclerc. But it's too early for me, though. 30 out of 50, I think it's too. Because I'm assuming, is it a one-stop race? Is it a two-stop race? Michael, next time, make a note. Look up how long these frickin' tires last. Because if I knew how long the hard tires lasted, I could definitely project if they're going to do another pit stop. It doesn't seem like it to me because everyone went on hards. That makes it, to me, that looks like it's a one-stop race. Yeah, but if you think about it, if Pirelli made a tire that lasted the whole race, how exciting would that be? Verstappen, another fastest lap, which just means he keeps. Oh, Leclerc. Wait a minute. Who has the fastest lap? So they just said Leclerc is the fastest lap, but the fastest lap little purple thing is next to Verstappen. No! No! Verstappen, no! No! He shit the bed. His car's dead. Verstappen, his car is dead. He is stopped. He is stopped. He is getting out of his vehicle. Oh. What happened? Virtual safety car. No, come on. Oh my God, his car is on fire. His car is smoking. Get out of the car, Max. Get out of the car. Okay, get out of the car. His car is smoking. His engine. He's saying to the marshals, "Oh my God, his car is on fire. His car is on fire. Max Verstappen's car is on fire." Oh, come on. Man. Max. He's one I don't even want to watch anymore. Sergio Perez, you're our only hope. Oh, crap. God damn it. I smell some weird fluid. Everything is, I don't know what. It was a curse word. It was a curse word. He's waving them on. My car's going to blow up. Hurry. Oh, crap. Man. I'm sad. I'm really sad. Well, now it's Leclerc, Perez, and Russell on the podium. Max Verstappen is out. Car's on fire. He's retired. People are coming in for their pit stops. Oh, man. I'm really sad. I'm really sad. 2 out of 3 races, Max is retired. The last race he finished, he won, which was the last race. Man. See how my mood changes when Max retires from the race? Total mood change. I'm pissed. I'm really pissed. Leclerc, you're my red flag. What does that mean? It's kind of a weird sign to hold up. I don't even know what that means. You're my a red flag means the race is stopped. Does Leclerc like stop her heart? Is that what it means? God damn it, Max. This is why I don't watch sports. I get too into it. I get like real like emotion. I get like super emotion. I'm really I want to end this. I don't want to live stream anymore. I'm sad now. I just want to go to sleep. It's 2 a.m. Lap 41 of 58. Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton, Norris, Ricardo, top 6. So far, Verstappen, Vettel, and Sainz are out of the race. DNFs, which stands for did not finish. DNS is did not start. Well, one thing you can say is, you know, I don't know, it's better than crashing, I guess, or like something where someone hits him. Hey, what the heck was that? They just replayed. What was that? Bottas getting bumped? So, yeah, Bottas got bumped by an Aston Martin. See, Lance Stroll. Bottas gets bumped by Lance Stroll. Yeah, the only time they show Lance Stroll is when he does something stupid. He's a Mickey Mouse driver. Get him out of here. My daddy bought me an F1 team. I'd be embarrassed if I was him. You're at a bar talking to a girl. So what do you do? Oh, I'm a race car driver. Oh, wow. What's your dad do? Oh, he owns the team. Oh, so you get to race cars because your daddy bought the team for you. I mean, listen. I bet he's a much better race car driver than I'd ever be, but still, he's Mickey Mouse. He should wear the ears. Come on, Perez. Okay, well, all right. Well, so they just told Perez that it's not relevant to his car. Okay, so that's another thing. The first race of the season, they both DNF'd. Him and Perez. Both of the Red Bull shit the bed. So now I'm worried. Because if Perez shits the bed, guess what? It's Leclerc, Russell, and Hamilton on the podium as long as nothing changes. And Mercedes is going to Forrest Gump their way onto the podium for the whole season if Red Bull doesn't figure out what's going on with their power units. So I was watching this video that Porsche, and I think I'm pretty sure Jason and I talked about this on the podcast or on something. See, so Jason and I talk so much in person and in text that I often forget what we talk about on the show and what we talk about privately, like at the bar or over text. So I can't, I honestly can't remember because we talk so damn much that I forget what we talk about on the show and what we talk about off the show. But whatever, I'm going to reiterate it here because, you know, we got, you know, time left here to talk. I mean, it's not like, you know, we got a lot of race left to go. So what is it? Porsche and Audi want to come into F1. It's been reported that they want to wait for the new engine regulations in 2026. But these aren't new teams. There'll still be 10 teams, but like Red Bull, like Porsche wants to team up with Red Bull to be their engine supplier. So, you know, it'd be like the Porsche Red Bull team or whatever, just like Red Bull was with Honda. And Porsche, what it made it sound like to me is that they're just not the engine supplier. They're like, you know, Porsche Red Bull. Like they're also more involved than that, more like part of the team. They're just not going to build engines. That's what it sounds like to me. In Audi, they're related. So I think they're related, right? Jason could tell me, correct me on that one. But Um, I don't remember what it said about Audi specifically on how they want to get in. Oh, I think they wanted to buy McLaren or something along those lines. And then what's it called? Andretti. I would love for Andretti to get into F1. But, oh yeah, I think we definitely talked about this on the podcast because I think Jason brought up the fact that you need 200 million to get into F1 to start a new team. Like a new team. Like there's 10 teams to be like team 11. But you really need like $1 billion. You need a lot of money. You need a lot of money. It's in the bag. TMPS 118. It's in the bag. Our newest show. Go on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud. Go to tmpspodcast.com. Our most recent show is TMPS 118. It's in the bag. Go take a listen, like, subscribe, share, etc., etc. All right, lap 45 of 58. Leclerc, Perez, Russell, Hamilton. Top 4. Norris makes it the top 5. Wow, Stroll got on the radio because he did something stupid, probably. I don't like the badmouth people. I mean, it is what it is. I wish I had a daddy who could buy me an F1 team. Though I'm so fat, I probably wouldn't even fit in those cars. I'd probably have to lose at least, I don't know, 60, 70 pounds to even fit. They're not that big. I mean, these cars aren't that big. I mean, they're the biggest. These I think are the heaviest F1 cars ever. They're smaller, I believe, than last year's cars. But they're still much bigger than previous eras of F1, for sure. But there's a lot more technology in these cars now. And their power units, the engines have the V6 combustion engine and the electric components as well. So there's a lot more going on in these cars than there used to be. Plus all the safety stuff. All the telemetry equipment. I remember watching something about Ayrton Senna. They used to have to shift them. Well, first off, they still shift the cars, but they have paddle shifters on their steering wheel. But like you're watching Ayrton Senna race his car with one hand on the wheel while he's shifting. And you're like, that's insane. You couldn't do that in these cars. You're going way too fast. You know what I'd like to look up? I'd love to look up how fast cars used to go compared to now. Like in every era. So like the average speed of an F1 car in the 50s compared to now. I'm sure it's astronomically faster. It has to be, right? I mean, 200 miles per hour down a straight. These cars go 200 miles per hour. And then they have to slow down to go around a turn. And then another straight up to 200, down to 90 to go around a turn, or 60 or whatever it is, and then back up to 200. It's like insane. The G-forces that they experience is unbelievable. Like when Schumacher crashed and his car split in half, I think they said it was like 33 G's of force. Now, obviously, it's a quick 33 G's. And it's like, how do you survive that? Man, I'm so pissed Max is out. God damn it. See, I'm glad I watched this live. Because if I woke up and, saw, Max DNF, I probably wouldn't even watch the race. But now I might as well finish it. 47 of 58. We're almost down to 10 laps left. Might as well finish the race. God, I'm just so depressed. I need more booze. Kona, where's my dog? Kona, go get me more booze. Just cry myself to sleep. Max. Frickin' Red Bull. Come on, get your shit together. Engine's on fire. Can you imagine? You're driving along, your engine's on fire. Holy shit. Holy shit. Can you imagine that? He's like, I smell something. Jumps out of the car. Are those flames? Yeah, those are flames. I like how I think they said something earlier that was like Leclerc's like, let's go for the fastest lap at the end. You have the fastest lap, Leclerc. You already have it. Dude, this is Leclerc's year, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is Leclerc's year. Now that Verstappen has DNF'd 2 out of the 3 first, I mean, this is Leclerc's lead. I mean, there's a point where you get too far behind. I mean, I know we got a long way to go. We got 20 more races. I understand that, but 10 laps to go. But like, it's one of those things where you're in a hole. You just dig yourself into a hole. And it's just I mean, barring something insane, Leclerc has this in the bag. 10 laps to go. Perez is 14 seconds, almost 15 seconds behind Leclerc. It doesn't look like another pit stop is going to happen. So, I mean, Leclerc's got this in the bag. Oh, I can't vote for. Hold on, I want to vote for driver of the day. I always vote for Max. I'm just like that. I always vote for Max. Man, Leclerc blown it out. Unreal. Dude, I don't know what's going on. You have to like accept cookies and shit. Why can't we just go on the internet? We have like accept cookies and stuff. Accept private. Like, can I just go on the internet? Like, why can't I just go on the internet? Why do I have to like go to a website and press accept these cookies or some shit? Like, you know what kind of cookie I want? If it ain't chocolate chip, screw you. I'm not interested in your fucking cookies. I'm mad because Max is out and I had to accept some cookies to vote for him. I'm fat enough. I'm on a diet, internet. I don't need your cookies. God damn it. I get so pissed when he DNFs. Because I just love seeing him on the podium. I love seeing him win. He's number 1. Man. I know Hamilton never put the 1 on his car, which is fine. I don't really care for Hamilton. He's like Tom Brady to me. He's always wins. I'm like, screw you, dude. I don't care about you. No, he bangs supermodels. Who cares? They're probably horrible in bed. I bet he's terrible in bed. Good-looking people aren't good in bed. They don't have to be. Yeah, I don't like Hamilton. I think he's arrogant. He's full of himself. He's like, I'm going to take my mom's name. I don't understand why women lose their last names when they get married. Screw you, dude. Take your mom's name. Who cares? No one gives a shit. It doesn't matter. 51 of 58. Perez is now 18 full seconds behind or 19. I can't tell because I can't read it because it's too effing small. Sergio Perez in the grass. What are you doing, man? Come on. Do I need to become a Ferrari fan just so I can enjoy myself? No, I'm a Red Bull fan, and that's just how it is. You take it with the ups and the downs. Everyone's going in the grass around this turn. A Haas just went off in the grass too. 19 seconds behind Perez. I'm sorry, Perez is 9 seconds behind Leclerc. So he's with Russell 3 seconds behind Perez. So Leclerc's out in his own little world. No chance of being overtaken by Perez in P2. Comfortably ahead. No real risk from Russell behind. Hamilton's behind Russell, so he's doing his thing. Though Hamilton is almost within DRS range of Russell. So I could definitely see Hamilton making a move on his teammate to get on the podium. Though I would love to see Russell on a podium. I would love that. Though I can't imagine Hamilton not taking that chance because he's Lewis Hamilton. But, back in the day, they used to throw Valtteri under the bus. That's why he left the team, obviously. I always said, listen, Valtteri, get off of Mercedes. They don't care about you. Hamilton is always going to be favored. I mean, they would say Valtteri, let Hamilton pass. I remember Bottas was in first place. He was going to win. Let Hamilton pass. Now, I understand that Hamilton is in the hunt for the championship and Valtteri isn't. I understand that. But, can you imagine you're winning the race and they're like, let your teammate pass so he can win? I'd be like, fuck you. I want to win. But it technically is a team sport. So you're on a team. Everyone wants to win, but not everyone can. So, and I understand Hamilton's the one in the hunt. And, but hey, man, everyone's getting pushed off, going off in the grass and the gravel. This was kind of a messy race. Not really. It's kind of boring, except for Max. I'm just mad now. I'm sorry. My whole mood has changed. I'm not even watching it. When Max isn't racing, it's like when Tiger isn't golfing, I don't care about golf. I'm only interested in this Masters, and I'm only mildly interested in this Masters. I'm not even fully engulfed in it. Get it? Engulfed. I'm a funny person. I only even care about it because Tiger's playing. Where if he wasn't playing, I wouldn't even know the Masters was happening. It's like Will Smith wins an Oscar. I didn't even know he was in a movie. I didn't even know that movie existed. I didn't even know there was a movie called King Richard that starred Will Smith. If Will Smith didn't slap Chris Rock, I still wouldn't know. Okay, yeah. So Leclerc doesn't know that he has the fastest lap. He keeps asking for the fastest lap. He's not aware that he even has it. Though, how would you be? You wouldn't know. I don't, unless you're told. Wow, Perez, 20 seconds behind. Jeez, that's crazy. Leclerc just never lost it. I think has he led every lap? I'm pretty sure he's led every lap. He'll have pole, led every lap, fastest lap, and the win, I'm pretty sure. Hamilton, you guys put me in a really difficult position. What, the position of having to overtake your own teammate to try to get on the podium? It's called life, buddy. How the cookie crumbles, Hamilton. What does that even mean? Huh? What does that even mean, Hamilton? Give George a podium. You have how many? Seven championships. Let Georgie have some time. Get him on the podium. That's I want to see. God, listen, I don't know if they're doing picnics or what, but they keep going off in this grass. I mean, it's like unbelievable. Look, more lockups. These guys are locking up all over the place. It's like a freaking locksmith shop. They're locking up all over. Going off for a picnic in the grass. I hope Russell gets on the podium. Screw Hamilton. You've had your time in the sun, Sir Lewis Hamilton. And I believe he was knighted way prematurely. I think they should have waited till he retired. His legacy was, as far as auto racing, complete. 3 laps to go in the 2022 Formula One Heineken Australian Grand Prix in Melbourne, Australia, at the Albert Park Circuit. So this circuit apparently is only used for this race. It is not used at any other time for any other race during the year. They obviously haven't been here for 3 years. I don't know if you guys know this, but back in 2020, they were in Australia, set to open the season. COVID shut them down. Come on, Sergio. Come on. You're our only hope. Get some points for us Red Bull fans. Come on. She's weird, wild stuff. Come on, Georgie. Come on, George. I want George on the podium. Hamilton can suck an egg. I want Russell on the podium. George Russell to me looks like the real like James Bond. He looks like he could be like an actual. What if he is? Like, what if he's an actual MI6 or whatever special agent? And he's an F1 driver as his cover, and he gets to travel the world. And everywhere he goes, he's on like missions. And he just happens to race in the meantime as his cover. Maybe even sometimes it's not even George Russell racing. It's like a guy in like a Mission Impossible kind of like mask. You know what I'm talking about? 1 lap, 57 of 58. Charles Leclerc comfortably in the lead, followed by Sergio Perez and then George Russell. So we have a Ferrari, a Red Bull, and a Mercedes, which is pretty much how it's been for the past several years. Those have been the 3 top teams. But this season so far, it's only 3 races in, but the Ferrari dominance is just so apparent and so clear. Looks like the Haas's are overtaking one another. And we got, poor Albon. Albon is hanging out in the back. I don't think Albon has the moxie. You know what I mean? I really don't think he has really like what it takes. 2:30 in the morning here on the East Coast. We're in the final lap of the Australian Grand Prix. Leclerc is going to sail easily into a win. Perez, as long as his car doesn't shit the bed like Max's car, which infuriates me. I want to punch a hole in the wall, but I'm not going to because I'm renting, and I want my security deposit back. So I'm not going to do that. Come on. You can do it. Perez, are you still awake? Well, did he really just say, are you still awake? To his team, to his engineer? Maybe they weren't talking to him. Maybe they went, well, hey, listen. If you're racing, right, the last lap, you're going for it. The last thing you want is someone, chatting in your ear. You know what I mean? Here it is. Charles Leclerc coming around the final corner. Wins his second race of the season in Australia. And he also has the fastest lap. I'm almost certain pole, led every lap, fastest lap, win, dominated. Charles Leclerc absolutely dominated the 2022 Heineken Australian Grand Prix at Albert Park. Albert Park. I almost said Prince Albert Park. Could be Prince Albert. I don't know. And there it is, Leclerc, Perez, and George Russell on the podium. And it looks like we got Hamilton next, and then the McLaren guys, the McLaren brothers, Norris and Ricciardo coming in sixth. The hometown, well, I don't know if it's not, I don't think it's his hometown, but home country. Daniel Ricciardo in sixth, gets some points, and Leclerc has his hands up on the halo, just can't believe it, waving to the crowd. Dominated this race. Charles Leclerc in his Ferrari, he is just, I mean, if this keeps going, man, it's not even going to be close. I always knew Leclerc had what it took, or has what it takes to be a champion. And I'm telling you, Ferrari, I don't know if Enzo came back from the dead or what, but someone woke them up. And what, Maranello, right? Isn't that what the city's called? And they are dominant. Well, there you go, guys. Charles Leclerc is also the driver of the day. So, I mean, they just blew it out. Just blew it out. Ferrari. Where are they going? Oh, he's just pulling over to wave a little bit. Just off, like, just not. I thought he was, like, going off the track there. Sergio Perez, P2. Thank you, Sergio. For, because, man, if his car shit the bed, I would have gone to bed. I would have ended this and gone to bed. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching TMPS Nightcap. This was my live reaction and disappointment in Max's retirement. But, however, we got Sergio Perez on the podium in P2. Some good, I think it's 18 points. Not bad. Keeps Red Bull in the game for the constructor. I'm sure Max is just furious, but hey, when your car is on fire, what are you going to do, right? So, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember, go to tmpspodcast.com, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next time on TMPS Nightcap.